disregarding in particular the unquantifiable, disregarding qualia, qualities, those arguments that we're familiar with, and because they can't be easily measured. And in disregarding them, they disregard consciousness itself. As we know, many scientists say, well, you have to prove now that you're a person, or that you have selfhood, or consciousness doesn't exist. It's a frightening deconstruction. That deconstruction is not accidental. It's not a debate. It's designed or calculated with a purpose to remove human opposition to this insane movement towards technological control, towards the creation of a godlike figure in the technosphere, where the technology merges with intelligence and the individuals become hooked in as in a network, as nodes in a network. They become reduced to elements in that, and the humanity is disregarded. So the only solution to that for me is to recognize what all spiritual traditions have said, what perennial philosophy has said across the board, whether it be in Islam or Judaism or Catholicism or in the Orthodox approach, that we're spiritual beings, and we are representations of the divine consciousness. And spiritual evolution involves us moving towards and accepting or expanding the domain of our divine consciousness, moving towards the angelic, which was the basis of humanism. We go back to Mirandolo, for example, and that's where the conflict is. Sorry if I went on too long. You have to stop.
No, it's great. I love hearing you just go on, because you have a lot of valuable things to say, and you bring in a lot of just a lot of information that's very important. And I think that what you're describing is hard to accept for the majority of people, that, because we have this now demonization of a conspiracy theory. And effectively, essentially what you're describing is this big conspiracy to sort of take over the control of the world, and then put humanity, or just like belittle humanity, and then essentially create a new God, is what you were alluding to. And I think that has a lot to do with this whole AI movement. But don't you think that even though there's this huge attempt to destroy humanity, as you're saying, that there's going to be this opposite reaction where people are going to go within themselves, and then you're going to see this sort of revival of spirituality?
2 points there. Firstly, in relation to conspiracy, conspiracies exist, and we know that the state accepts that they exist because it has legislation against conspiracies, and people are often prosecuted, especially if they don't have